If authority is a word that triggers in you the desire to rebel, defy and revolt, you need to hear this. Authority, a word that is taken for granted and pursued for the wrong reasons by weak men feeling the need to overpower others in their interactions based on the titles or positions that they hold. In recent times, we could often see such behavior in all areas of life. From insignificant roles in media and entertainment to prestigious positions in law or government, weak men without a spine shout loud and hard self-proclaimed titles in order to receive the respect and authority such titles normally carry with them. If we want to build a strong and stable society, friend, we need to understand what authority is, how it should be recognized, and what kind of impact the different ways of using authority has. Authority is not something restricted to one individual alone. Authority can refer to a person, as in he is an authority on this topic. It can refer to an attribute, as in he has the authority, or it could refer to an institution or organization, such as the housing authority. Understanding this basic definition should make you realize that limiting the scope of authority to only that of a person within a prestigious position in a hierarchy is a narrow view. A man exercising authority based upon the power of a title will always compel just the minimum level of performance. However, friend, when those who follow instructions and directives feel engaged by the leaders who encourage individual dignity and expression of skills, productivity levels are likely to be excellent, and I would argue that this is the type of authority that we all, you and me, have to applaud and encourage. And since a real-life story can underline an idea far better than just simple abstraction, here's one of a production manager whose factory was behind schedule on an important project. This production manager went down to the floor and demanded that the supervisor tell him why the schedule was not being met. As the supervisor began to explain the overtime, the late delivery of parts due to lockdowns, and the process changes needed to regain the schedule, the production manager interrupted and shouted, "I don't need excuses, I need results," ordering with a nagging voice, "Just get it done." At this point, the supervisor calmly suggested that the two of them sit down in a meeting room to go over what would be needed, whereupon the manager exclaimed, "Who do you think runs things around here?" The supervisor then said, "I guess you do," and handed him the plans with the day's work schedule, while the workers watching this exchange waited. The manager had no idea where to begin to recover without the supervisor, so all he could say to the workers was stop staring and get back to work, while the workers turned around with a questionable level of effort and concerned looks exchanged along the assembly line. The production manager of course had the higher position, but the people had respect for the knowledge and track record of the supervisor, and their collective silence said a lot about the offset of the positional authority of the big boss. You see, friend, generally speaking, authority is the ability to make other people do what you want them to do, and is basically of two kinds: power and influence. Men in leading positions fall back on power when they lack the influence to convince others to follow them, and this is the weakest form of persuasion. Power is derived from physical strength, the law, economic resources, and hierarchical position. Its strength lies in the ability to compel others to do what they may not wish to do because of a coercive condition. The ability to injure, to damage them economically, to withhold favors, or to restrain freedom, and its weakness lies in the simple condition that whether or not the person wants to, he must follow, or else, and this means that a coerced person is unlikely to produce the highest level of energy and focus in any of his actions and interactions. The second type of authority is the one that has the potential to change lives. Influence power is the ability to bring people to conclude that they want to follow the leader. This may be derived from knowledge, reputation, or prior relationships, and such influence is acquired by demonstrated courage and abilities, as many stories have told. If a man in a leading position has superior knowledge and can demonstrate this with persuasive skills, then he will likely cause the ones following his lead to respond appropriately. A respected reputation and track record does wonders for a leader, and his personal relationship with the ones looking up to him will create a bond that can become unbreakable. Remember, friend, that when knowledge, reputation and personal relationship are all present in a leader, then such a man can harness the followers' capabilities, excitement and energy, which are likely to be given freely, because everyone involved knows that everyone will benefit from such good leadership. Both types of authority can be vested at the same time in an individual leader or leadership team or organizations and institutions, and every man in a top position has of course the authority of his position in dealing with a team or company members, but he has also the potential to develop influence authority over time as he interacts more and more with his peers. Observe, friend, in all your interactions with people in authority positions, the leaders who do their best to build a positive influence over others and reward such individuals instead of the insecure ones who aggressively pursue power and influence in the service of their own careers and interests. Authority can and should be exercised with a high level of responsibility, and men in leading positions, in order to remain trusted, have to act with integrity and in the interest of everyone around them. A legacy of this caliber is priceless. It cannot be purchased for any amount of money, because it must be lived to mean anything. Society needs leaders that embrace integrity, and to rebuild the foundation of our Western world, we must reward organizations and individuals that act with integrity, that exercise their position of authority with care and restraint. Wise and effective leaders who rely on the authority of influence, which emerges from relationships built on trust, reciprocity and respect. Whatever roles you play out in your life, whether you are a husband, father, engineer, team lead or something else, take this idea to heart, friend, and develop in you, while rewarding in others, the kind of behavior that promotes the idea of authority in the right way. Your choices and actions will impact the future of our society.